Alrighty, so today we are going to be flying our flight test Bloody Wonder. This is the same one we've used in a lot of videos now, but we have a big change because today we're going to be flying this plane for under $100. So I've gotten a new motor, new prop, new ESC, all those electronics, so that it's super cheap, and we're going to see how well this can fly when it's under $100. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and hop in the air, and then I'll just talk about the plane, what I've changed about it while we're flying, and yeah, we'll just see how it does. Alrighty, here we go. Alrighty, there we go. It's a very slow flying airplane, considering it's mostly has to do with its motor just being kind of small for its size, but it flies pretty decent. So yeah, so let's go ahead and go through the things we've changed on this plane. So the first thing that we really changed is with the electronics, and that is pretty straightforward. We went on to, I believe it was AliExpress, and got this motor for about $7, and then the ESC was like $3 or $4, and yeah, so super cheap electronics on that front. And then even the battery is only $13 to $14 depending on where you buy it from, and it's just a 1500 milliamp zippy battery, 3-cell of course. So yeah, even the battery is really cheap. When you dial up all those, you're really only up to like $20 of cost. So that's pretty nice. $20 just for the electronics is pretty cheap for RC plane like this. But of course you have to factor in the receiver. So for the receiver, we have the $46 FlySky receiver, a cheap but well working receiver, especially for a plane like this. And yeah, that's basically it for the electronics. There's nothing else really needed. So I actually scratch built this and just cut out the plans on my own. But even if you bought the kit from Flight Test, I think you would still be under $100. All depends on what you choose to do. But yeah, super cheap plane, and as you can see here, it is flying really nicely. Smooth, slow. This would actually be a really good trainer if you dialed back the controls. I've actually trained a few people on this plane just by dialing back the controls, doing some buddy boxing. It really works as a good training plane. But even right now, it's also good as just a cruising plane. It's actually morning time right now, so doing some morning flying is very nice. Always got that nice morning cool air, perfect for flying plane. So another thing to note about this setup is it's actually really efficient. So because we're running a 1500 milliamp 3-cell battery, although that battery is pretty big considering the motor that's pulling it, it's actually just the right setup that you can get nearly like 8 to 10 minutes on a full charge. So that is really nice if you want to just be able to fly for a really long time, or in my case, just flying really calmly, you know, it's really nice. So one thing you may have noticed is the landing gear is not really a part of the Bloody Wonder, but this Bloody Wonder has a landing gear. And this landing gear is because we have a special wooden power pack, which actually adds some weight to the plane, but you don't normally have to do that. You can normally just put on the Flight Test power pack, but I put on this wooden power pack so that I could have this landing gear, and it actually makes it really nice for landing. So unfortunately, my battery is not fully charged because I was doing some testing before flying, so it's probably a little lower than the other one would be if it was a full charge. So we will land soon, but not too soon. So we do actually have some LEDs on this plane. That is obviously not a part of the $100 unless you would like to, which I do think it would still fit in the $100 build, but I just have these on from previous videos, and yeah, so one nice thing about the Bloody Wonder that I do like for its training purposes, especially if you use it as a trainer, is it's only made of 3 sheets of foam board. So if you get like 9 sheets of foam board, you can build 3 of these in, I mean, maybe 5 hours of work. You could build 3 of these and have them last you a really long time, because the electronics are super easy to swap out. So that's really nice. Again though, with this setup, you're not really going to be doing any like vertical climbs of any sort. You're really just going to be cruising around slow, low or high, depending on what you want to do. And it's a really relaxing plane, especially in the morning like this. So our battery's probably getting low here. I definitely feel the need to push the power higher in order to keep the plane in the air. So we will land shortly. We're gonna try to take advantage of the landing gear as much as we can, but there's always that chance that it'll just kind of nosedive in the ground when it comes down to land. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and land. We're gonna land coming towards the camera and just see if we can stick a solid landing. I'm gonna turn around here. Alrighty. This should glide pretty well if all goes well. Oh yeah, it glides amazing. Here we come. Oh, nice! So that was a pretty solid landing. So that is going to be all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you do want to build your own $100 Bloody Wonder, you should definitely go down there and check out the parts list I have down below. If you're a beginner, I don't necessarily recommend it, but if you just want another plane for pretty cheap, it's definitely worth your while. Actually, one thing I didn't note is that if you buy the electronics, you actually have to solder some connectors on. So it's definitely not for anyone who can't solder or do all that kind of stuff. But if you really want to get some bang for your buck, this is definitely the plane for you. So yeah, that's going to be all for today's video. So I'll see you in the next vlog.